Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Paula.
I'm Jason.
Today I transplant the tomatoes and the amaryllis.
And I find morel mushrooms in the yard.
Hi everyone. Today we're transplanting cherry tomatoes. Just look at those beautiful tomatoes. You just kind of give it a wiggle. Lay it in your hand. It's going to come out in one big clump. Just like that. Just going to gently wiggle them apart. Don't break any. There you go. Break them apart. And then you're just going to separate them. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And they'll separate nice and easy. Do that again. Two to a pot. Grab them from the bottom and give them a little pull. There you go. Nice roots. And we planted these together on the 29th of March, and today is the 20th of April. And they're ready for transplant. Tomatoes kind of let you know when they need to be transplanted. They're getting a little taller, and you can see all these little fuzzy things. See all those fuzzy things? Those are going to be roots. I already took off their very first leaves. See the first leaves? We're just going to take those off, and we're going to bury her in her new pot right below where those first leaves came up. So let me show you how to do that. So what I do is I have a gardening spoon, a nice big spoon, and I go straight down as far as I can, and I wiggle it back and forth. I'm going to put two in here, wiggle it back and forth. Make that hole kind of wide so we can get that whole tomato plant in there, including any dirt that's on it. Just like that. Put your fingers on both sides of the plant and just push it down. We're going to bury it right underneath where those first leaves were. Again. Gently hold the stem and just pluck off those leaves. You can use a pair of scissors if you'd like. Just slide that right in there. And this is how easy transplanting can be. Now we're going to grab some more soil. We want to bury them right underneath those first leaves, like I said. One of the little tricks for me is when I'm transplanting Roma tomatoes, I'll use a circular container. And if I'm doing cherry tomatoes, I'll do the square containers. This way, even if I screw up the labeling somehow, I know that what I planted them in. Push the spoon down, go in a circular motion, make a nice hole. Take your little tomato plant, pluck the little leaves off, place her in the hole, and push dirt right on top of her. Make her nice and snug and happy. Tractor's going by. Sorry about that. Push it down. Soil around it. And now we're going to add some more soil to the pot. Might as well just use what came out of the first pot anyway. Nothing needs to go to waste. And now I'm going to spritz some just to ensure that new soil I put on the top is wet. And everything likes a shower anyway. I was in the sunroom transplanting the tomatoes with you guys, and I can hear a hawk. And all of the birds took off, and now they're back. Out in those pots, we have our cucumbers and our marigolds and our gourds and our little gourds and peanuts. That nice weather will really warm up the soil. Even though it's like 75 degrees in my sunroom, those are bigger pots. So I want to make sure that stays nice and warm for all of those seeds that we planted together. Pray for the peanuts. Check out the magnolia tree. I transplanted these cherry tomatoes also today. I transplanted the Roma tomatoes also. We planted 8 zucchini plants together and 4 came up so far. So I transplanted them. And one of our acorn squashes came up. So I went ahead and transplanted him. So pretty watching them grow. The third leaf on the zucchini. More zucchini seeds popping up. Check out the artichoke. Every seed so far is coming up. You can see them popping through. Yay. Artichoke. The eggplant is very happy. Plenty to share this year with my friends who also would like some eggplant. The jalapenos have been taking their time this year for some reason, but 2 more just popped up today. And there's a 3rd one over there that popped up yesterday. So yay, more jalapenos. And remember I was talking about how I'm not real good at planting flowers. Well, they're actually coming up. So yay. Maybe I'll have some cone flowers this year. Basil. So we did have an epic fail. I'm not sure what happened, except that maybe my peanuts are bad. Remember all those peanuts that we planted together? They absolutely should have come up already. It's been like 21 plus days. Peanuts never take that long. So I decided to take a spoon and dig them up and see what was going on. And you see, they're like mushy. They started to rot. Definitely mushy, just not a happy peanut. So I did go ahead and, de-shell some more peanuts, and I planted them today on the 20th of April. So hopefully we will see peanuts soon. The nasturtiums popped up today. Yay! Marigold. Cucumber. Gourds. And more gourds. So we transplanted tomatoes today, and we also are going to go ahead and transplant the amaryllis. So she'll bloom again. You can tell she's very happy. So this is where the bloom came out of. So you're just going to cut right down at the bottom. Very simple. The old bloom came out of this one. Okay, so let's transplant her. This part is very easy because she had babies coming right off the other bulb. She has babies here, and she has babies right here in the back. So I'm going to give her some fresh soil. She's going back into this pot, but I want to move them around and give them a little bit more room and fresh soil. I usually give them fresh soil about every year, year and a half. So here we go. All I do is I flip it right on its side. Go on the edges. Just kind of lift up that soil a little bit so you can get it out of there. Just give her a little pull and she'll come out in one big clump. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so if you watch one of my other seed starting videos, you'll see that I add the soil to my pot and then I add water. And I let it drain from the bottom in the hole. Make sure you have drainage. She has a wonderful root system. All you're going to do is just like the tomatoes, you're going to gently pull her apart. Look at all of these roots. This is beautiful. There we go. One is already ready to go back into the pot. Pull these babies off of here. And they do grow around each other, but if you're pulling very lightly, they will come apart. The biggest mistake people make with amaryllis is they bury the bulb too far into the ground or in their pot. Amaryllis, the bulb should be sticking out of the soil. Look at the baby. Fantastic root system. I'm going to add a little stand just so all of those amaryllis have something to lean on. Just splendid. Look at that beautiful bulb. So I'm going to take my spoon, go ahead and make a hole. Just place those roots in there with some of the dirt along the side. Just make sure you're keeping that bulb exposed. And I'm going to add more soil to this pot. So you don't want to dig her too deep. There we go. We'll put this in place. She has something to lean on. I had 2 bulbs when I started and now I have 4. Look at the roots. Aren't those amazing? Okay, so same thing. I'm going to be adding soil to this. So I don't want to, dig a huge hole. I just want to place her there, spread out her root system a little bit, cover it with a little bit of soil. And we'll add more soil when we're all done with the placement. Amaryllis are one of those plants that don't mind being a little snug. They grow together, and you saw how easily those roots came apart. So 2 in. Get our 3rd one in here. Just separate some of the old dirt. Just give it a little wiggle. Shake. Beautiful roots. I'm going to place her here. So basically all you're doing is placing those roots right on top of that soil with the bulb. And then I'm going to add soil halfway up the bulb. And our new one that just came this winter. Again, just give her a little room to sit. Push down a little bit. Make her nice and snug. And I'm going to add more soil. Remembering to keep that bulb out of the soil, at least halfway. When you add the water to it, it'll make that soil settle. Okay, now we can water. Okay, so while that is draining in the sink, I'm going to cut the babies. Let them start off fresh. Aren't they adorable? Just go ahead and cut them. Don't be afraid. They will grow back. And again, we are going to transplant these into the ground about halfway. Okay. These little guys, I'm just going to place around the edge. Same thing, I'm just going to bury them about halfway. Beautiful roots on a little baby plant for sure. It was happy. And there's the amaryllis, all transplanted. By the time these small bulbs start to grow throughout the season, I may end up putting these into 2 pots. But as you can see, as long as everybody has about 2 inches of room, they're going to spread out and they're going to be just fine. Jason's out mowing, so you might be able to hear that. And as you can see, all the plants are doing very well. And they still have about 4 to 5 weeks before I'm going to be putting them in the ground. There's Jason. Spring has definitely sprung around here in New York State. Jason mowed for the 2nd time. Everything's turning green. I was just looking for the morel mushrooms yesterday, and there was nothing there. Jason just found 2. Let's go check them out. Do you see what I see? Yep, that is a morel mushroom. They're starting to pop up. 2nd morel. We're definitely going to let these ones keep growing. But yay, what a great sign of deliciousness to come. The lemon balm is coming up. I can already pick some chives. And the sage is already coming back too. And so is the mint. The rhubarb is just taken off. Every plant so far is coming up. I definitely have to come out here and do some weeding. But do you see this? Asparagus is coming up. Yay! And more asparagus. I'm so excited about asparagus. The Concord grapes are starting to bud. Hoping for another great harvest this year. No rain in the forecast for the next couple days. So even though it'll be in the 50s, I'm probably going to be working in the garden. Hopefully you all join me back again for that. And we're going to plant some beets.